Hi, Naomi Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health. I'm going live on Instagram and on Facebook at the moment. I'm just going to, sorry, pause this. Oh, stop. Hang on. Right. So I need to mute, not pause. Sorry, everybody. Hang in there. So why do we blame genetics as part of our health condition? Genetics don't really play a role in thyroid or hormone imbalance. It's more an environmental thing. So a lot of people tell me that they have a mum, a nan, a cousin, an auntie, grandmother, or whatever it is that have a hormone imbalance or a thyroid issue. And that may be the case, but remember, you were brought up doing the same things in the same areas. Your DNA gets passed down, but DNA doesn't create a thyroid imbalance. Your environment does. So from the day you were born till the day that you were diagnosed, the things that happened in your life is what has contributed to your health condition. What happens when we blame genetics is that it gives us we feel like it gives us a free pass to being sick. So a lot of people go, oh, I can't do anything about it. My nan had a thyroid issue, so it's genetic. You can do something about it. It is something that you have done to your body or something that's happened to your body. It can be heavy metal toxicity. That goes into our liver and feeds pathogens in our liver, and our liver starts to not work effectively. We can't detox properly. We can't detox our hormones. Then our thyroid stops working effectively. Same with any other environmental toxins. Now, heavy metal, people tell me all the time they don't use a lot of heavy metal. You don't need to use heavy metal. Heavy metal is in things like vaccinations. It's in petrol or fuel, gas, wherever you live, whatever you call it, that we inhale it, we ingest it. It's in our makeup. It's in our body products. We cook in it. We eat out of canned food. We drink out of cans. We take on a lot of heavy metal all the time. A lot of products have heavy metals that goes into our body and it affects our liver. Other things like stress in your life affect your hormone imbalance and your thyroid issue. So trauma, grief, anything. Could be a car accident. It could be an injury. Could be absolutely anything that's affected your emotional and mental health. So a lot of the things that have happened in your life has created the thyroid issue. You may have a predisposition to it because of your genetics, but you can definitely change things because of your environment. So cleaning up your environment, like we talk about toxins all the time, I bang on about it all the time, and people probably get sick of it, but it is so important to get rid of them in your life. Parabens, all sorts of plastics, all sorts of things that go into our food, the chemicals in our food, the chemicals in the air that we breathe in, our cleaning chemicals, they have a lot of heavy metals in them too. So we take on all of these. It affects our body. It affects our liver predominantly. The liver is the core issue of the problem. So if you're understanding any of this, give me a little wave in the comments, say hi, tell me where you're coming in from. I really want to know how many people have thought for a long time that genetics are the reason why they've got a thyroid issue, and then they'll just deal with it because it's, part of their DNA. Drop in the comments if that's you. It's no judgment. We get told that by the medical profession, that it's part of our DNA. It's actually not. It's the environment that we live in, what we create, what we do to ourselves, the stresses. Like I said, So many factors, what we eat, what we choose to put into our mouth every day, processed food, the chemicals in our food, not just chemicals that get sprayed on our fruits and vegetables, but the chemicals that get put in our foods to preserve it. Not only do those chemicals preserve the food, but they enhance our hunger. They make us crave those foods. So this is why they're in there. Processed food is not just about preserving food. It's about making us want more of that product, want more of that food. So it's, you know, the sugar, same as the sugar in it, and the oils that are in it, the carcinogenic oils that get put in processed foods, all of those things contribute to our environment and how we live, and that affects our thyroid and our hormones. So it's very important. If you've been on birth control for a long, long time, that affects your hormones. When you are get put on birth control to fix your period, you're not actually fixing anything. You are masking the problem. You get a false period when you are on synthetic birth control. And what that does, your body is created this environment, and it has created this false period, and it goes along like that for years and years and years. When you come off the pill, your body's like, hang on, what am I supposed to do here? And then it's got to try and work out how it can menstruate and give you a period, and it's got to get back into working order. So you'll find a lot of times you come off the pill, you get a lot of symptoms, you don't get your period, you don't get a lot of things. It's because you've told your body to do something else that's not natural to it for a very, very long time. So that is then affecting your whole body. Your body inside is like, I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't understand. When we do things to our body that it doesn't understand, then it messes with the whole synergy of what's going on in our cells and like I said, our liver. The liver is that central organ that tries to detox everything that comes in on our skin, what we eat, what we inhale. And when that is affected by our environment, our stress, all of these things, then it is really difficult to detox your hormones. They recycle in your body. So that's why we get a lot of an estrogen imbalance. Hey, Rochelle, thanks for popping that up there for us. So that is why it recycles into our body, because it goes into the liver, and the liver is clogged down with all this stuff we keep putting into our bodies, or that we have in our environment. You know, it's got to put blood's got to go through their food, absolutely everything has to go through the liver, and it started to get congested. And it's like, I don't know how to get rid of all this stuff any quicker. It doesn't speed up and go, all right, I've got to get rid of all these things, move out. It's still going at the same pace, but it can't do it effectively. And it starts to, you know, like we do, if we can't do something effectively and there's too much going on, it starts to freak out, and it starts to not work properly. It's like it has a brain explosion, and it can't keep going at the pace that our body is telling it to go at. So genetics is not the reason that you have a thyroid condition or a hormone imbalance. Your environment, every single thing that's happened to you in the womb, when you're in your mum's belly, then when you've come out, the first thing that happens when you come out is you get injected with a lot of things. Some of the times you get vaccinations, or you get, sometimes if you had a traumatic birth, or you've taken on some of the things that your mum has. So your body, like the stress of birth as well. So your body is, as soon as it comes out, can be under a little bit of stress. So as we, you know, go through, it depends what you get fed as a baby as well. A lot of these things, if you are a baby living off processed baby food, you are getting talcum baby powder poured all over you. You know, a lot of things get put onto these babies, and it's hard for their liver to start really detoxing it, because it's so much for the baby. As we get older, you know, you start to eat more things. As you become a teenager, you probably eat worse food. You start to drink alcohol. Some people do drugs. Whatever it is, we take on a lot. You know, you might have a traumatic childhood, you might have a bad marriage. All of these things affect you at a different level to everybody else. So the reason a lot of the time why your mum and your nan and whoever else have a thyroid imbalance is because maybe your nan, your mother and her sister grew up in a toxic environment, whether it was emotionally traumatic, whether they live next to an industrial plant. A lot of things can be the reason. And there's a lot of people that have thyroid issues today. I can tell you, I don't know anybody in my family that has a thyroid issue. None. Not my mother, my nan, none of my cousins. Nobody that I know has a thyroid imbalance in my body. Loving this talk and agree. Have to go into thank you, my beautiful friend Alison, but I'm glad you agree. But it is true, and I have been actually abused by people in my thyroid group. So if you're on Instagram and you want to know a lot more about the thyroid, go over to Thyroid and Hormone Support on Facebook, join my group. But I have had people abuse me, get really, really upset about the fact that what I tell them, it's not actually their mum or the nan's genetics that they've passed down. It's actually something that's happened to them. And because for many reasons, one, if we believe it's our parents that have caused it or our genetics, we just think, okay, well, I can't do anything about it. It's in my blood. It's genetic. I'm going to get it anyway. I was going to get it anyway. We become complacent because we think it's part of our life path. It's not part of your life path. If it has happened to you, you can change your life path. Only you can change your life path. So, you know, we also, the other reason is, I completely got off track there. So it's not your grandparents' fault. It's no one else's fault. It's not your DNA. It's actually what's happened to your body, and you're not becoming complacent. That's where I was up to. Because you have a thyroid issue. It is actually more to do with what you've done in your life and how you can manage it. So you can heal a thyroid condition regardless of what the medical system tells you. It is possible. There are steps to take. I can help you with that. I did them myself. But it's about you taking ownership of what's happened, because people don't want to take ownership. That's where I was going. Yes, people don't want to take ownership. It's like, no, I didn't do anything in my life to create this. I've lived a really healthy life. And I can guarantee you the people who are the worst are fitness people. I was a fitness person. Trust me, I was playing high-level tennis. I was playing hockey on the weekends, touch football, running every day, going to the gym, because you are led to believe that because you are fit, that you are healthy. That is not the case. Fitness is an aspect of health, but you can be overdoing it, particularly for, you know, your age, your health, whatever it is. You need to work out what exercise is right for you. Just because you love running doesn't mean it's good for your health. But fitness, the fitness industry, I find a lot, you know, protein shakes, synthetic supplements, flushing the body out, nasty cleansers that do things way too quickly and overdo it. You know, people think that, like I said, people think that because they are in the fitness industry that they are healthy. They may eat well, and sometimes they don't, but they also are running on high adrenaline and high cortisol, which then can cause a hormone imbalance in you. But they are forgetting the toxicity, the emotional health, the mental health. Those things are included in how healthy you are. It is not just your fitness levels. So taking ownership of what you have done to your body, and we don't always realize that we're doing it. We are conditioned to think that we have to do certain things in our life to be healthy, but that's not the case. So I just wanted to tell you to stop blaming your mum or stop thinking that it's not something that you've done in your life. It totally is. And it's not that you did it on purpose. Life the environment around us is highly toxic, but we can control it a little bit. We can't control all of it. We can't control the jet fuel that drops down on us. We do inhale that. It goes into our ocean. We swim in that. You know, you've got a lot of rubbish that goes into the ocean. You've got a lot of ships, boats, all those things, all their fuel and stuff goes into the ocean. So we can't help but take on toxicity, but we can help what we do every day, what makeup we purchase, what mental health practices we use, what mindfulness activities we do, how we react and respond to people, how our outlook on life is it a positive outlook? We can change all those things. We can control those things. So controlling, you know, taking control of what you can control and not worrying about that, but working on that and leaving the rest up to, you know, we can't do everything. We can't do anything about our work environment. We can change our job, but if you work in a really highly toxic industry, you can't do much about that. But there are things that you can do to get rid of heavy metals. There are things that you can do to balance your hormones. There are a lot of things that you can do. But the first thing you're going to stop doing is blaming your genetics. So this may trigger a few people. Pop it in the comments if it has. But all it shows me, when you get upset with me, when I post something that you don't agree with, it shows me where you're at in your healing. So let me know if this has resonated with you, and you can jump on to my Calendly link that Rochelle has shared in my thyroid group. The link is in the bio on Instagram. Book a 20-minute free chat with me and let's nut out some of the things that you could be doing that are keeping you sick, some of the things that we could be doing to improve your health, and we could start working together. About 20 minutes of your time and 20 minutes of my time just to help you and to see where we can go further with your health. I don't know why.